You're just a phase. I'll settle down when I'm done having fun, my GF said. Good to know, I replied. Then I settled myself in a way that left her out completely and watched her lose her mind. Hey Reddit, this happened a few months ago. Thought I should share it with you guys since a lot might relate. Here's what went down. I, 26 male, was dating this girl Brooke, 24 female, for about 2.5 years. Met her through my buddy's girlfriend at some rooftop party downtown. She was one of those girls who could walk into any room, and suddenly everyone's gravitating toward her. Super outgoing, always down for whatever. Total opposite of my more chill personality. First year was honestly pretty great. She got me out of my comfort zone, dragged me to concerts I never would have gone to, made me try sushi. Still hate it, but whatever. I started going to yoga classes because she was into it. Yeah, I was that guy doing downward dog next to a bunch of soccer moms at 6 a.m. Don't judge me. My dad Jim thought the whole thing was hilarious. Yoga? Really? What's next? Juice cleanses. He's been my best friend since my mom died when I was 12. Raised me alone, taught me plumbing, never remarried because he said one woman trying to change him was enough for one lifetime. He's got this way of saying exactly what everyone's thinking, but too polite to say out loud. But around year 2, things started shifting. She'd disappear entire weekends for girls' trips that seemed to happen every other week. Started following a bunch of festival influencers on Instagram, always talking about this amazing party in Vegas, or that underground music thing in Miami. Made friends with this crew who were all about that live your best life energy. You know the type. Always posting stories with those generic motivational quotes over sunset pics. The ringleader was her friend Rebecca. This chick was like the devil on Brooke's shoulder, except she wasn't even subtle about it. Rebecca was 26, working some vague marketing job that apparently paid enough for her to hit up every major festival on the West Coast. She had this way of making every conversation about how Brooke was too young to be tied down and needed to have fun in her 20s. Dad met Rebecca exactly once at a barbecue and immediately sized her up. That one's trouble. She's got dead eyes and the personality of a motivational poster. He wasn't wrong. Rebecca would text Brooke constantly about parties, trips, opportunities that were too good to pass up. Brooke would get these messages and suddenly our plans would change. Date night became, oh, Rebecca found this amazing warehouse party? Or, Rebecca's friend knows a promoter who can get us into this exclusive thing. The conversation that nuked everything happened 4 months ago. Just a random Thursday night, we're eating the stir fry I made. Yeah, I cook, fight me. And I bring up my friend Alan's wedding in October. Wanna be my plus one? It's gonna be pretty fun, open bar, good music. Alan's been planning this thing forever. She literally laughed. Not like a cute giggle, but this full-on laugh like I just asked her to help me move a couch. October? Dude, that's like 5 months away. Who knows where we'll be then? I put my fork down. What do you mean where we'll be? She took a sip of her drink, this $18 bottle she insisted we needed because it was organic or some shit, and looked at me like I was being dense. Ryan, let's be real here. This is fun and all, but I'm not ready to settle down yet. I'm 24, I want to travel, meet new people, and experience things. I don't want to be tied down planning weddings and doing coupley stuff. So what am I to you exactly? And here's where it gets good. She actually sat there and thought about it. Took another sip of her drink like she was contemplating world peace. You're comfortable. Safe. You're like a security blanket. You're the kind of guy I'll come back to when I'm ready for all that serious stuff. But right now, you're kind of just a phase while I figure out what I really want. Just a phase. I felt like I was in that scene from Goodfellas where Henry's in the restaurant and everything goes quiet. A phase? Don't take it wrong. It's not you personally. I'm just not done having fun yet. When I'm like 28 or 29, I'll be ready for the whole settling down thing. Marriage, kids, whatever boring shit people do. And you assume I'll just wait around. She shrugged like we were talking about what to watch on Netflix. Why wouldn't you? We're good together. I just need to get this party phase out of my system first. You'll still be here doing your plumber thing, making decent money, being stable. That's what you're good at. I was literally a bookmark in her life story. Something she could close and come back to when she finished the fun chapters. Good to know where I stand, I said. Don't be dramatic. I'm being honest. Most guys would appreciate that instead of me lying and stringing them along. You're right. I do appreciate the honesty. She smiled like she'd just negotiated world peace. Went back to scrolling through Instagram, looking at some influencers' Bali vacation pics. See? You get it. You're mature like that. That night, I made a decision that would change everything. But first, I called my dad. She said, "What now?" His voice was flat, which meant he was pissed. Dad doesn't do emotional outbursts. He gets quiet and dangerous. I'm just a phase, a placeholder until she's ready for the real thing. Well, congratulations. You just got handed the best information you could possibly get. Most people waste years figuring out what you just learned in one conversation. What do you mean? She told you exactly who she is and what you mean to her. Believe her. Now act accordingly. If I was just a phase, a placeholder until she was ready for serious stuff, then I'd start acting like it. No drama, no begging, just cold, practical adjustments. Started that weekend. She wanted to hit up some warehouse party downtown that Rebecca had found. Come on, it'll be amazing. The DJ is supposed to be incredible. Nah, I'm good. Have fun, though. She was surprised but pleased. More freedom for her to do whatever. Finally, I was starting to think you were getting clingy. What she didn't know was that I'd started using those weekends for something way more productive. First thing I did was stop investing in our relationship. Not in some petty revenge way, just practically. Stopped buying groceries for her place. Why stock someone's fridge if you're temporary? Stopped meeting her party friends because honestly, why network with people I'd never see again once she moved on? She didn't notice at first because she was too busy living her best life with Rebecca as her hype woman. Every weekend was some new adventure. Pool parties, music festivals, spontaneous road trips to Austin or Nashville. Her Instagram became this highlight reel of shots at rooftop bars and dancing at venues I'd never heard of. Meanwhile, I quietly started rebuilding my life. Signed up for that woodworking class I'd been putting off for years. Turns out I'm actually pretty decent with a table saw. Joined this hiking group that met Saturday mornings, when she was usually hungover from whatever she'd done Friday night. Started volunteering at the local community center, teaching basic coding to kids. But the big move was the house hunt. I'd been saving money for years from my plumbing jobs, always telling myself I was waiting for the right time or for us to be ready. Well, if there was no us in my future, why was I waiting? Found this incredible fixer-upper in Riverside. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a huge backyard, needed serious work, but had amazing bones. Built in 1954, original hardwood floors, this sick mid-century fireplace. The kitchen was straight out of the 70s and the bathroom had avocado green tiles, but I could see the potential. The inspection turned up some interesting surprises. Original copper plumbing that was actually in better shape than most modern houses I'd worked on. The electrical panel needed a complete overhaul, but everything else was good. Foundation hadn't shifted an inch in 70 years. Dad came with me to look at it. He walked around for about 10 minutes, checked the foundation, looked at the electrical panel, and tested the water pressure. Roof's solid, the foundation's good, electrical needs some work, but nothing major. You'd be stupid not to buy it. Think I can handle all the renovation work? Kid, I've been teaching you this stuff since you were 8. Plus, I'm not dead yet. I can still swing a hammer. The previous owners had been this elderly couple who'd lived there for 40 years. They'd kept everything original but maintained it perfectly. Even left behind the workshop in the garage, complete with a vintage workbench and tools from the 50s. Dad nearly had a heart attack when he saw it. These tools are worth more than your down payment. Put in an offer without saying a word to Brooke. She was at Coachella with Rebecca, posting stories of herself covered in glitter, dancing to DJs I'd never heard of. Got the text that my offer was accepted while she was sending me videos of some art installation shaped like a giant cactus. Miss you, babe. This is incredible. Can't wait to tell you about it. Have fun, I texted back, then went back to reviewing the inspection report with Dad. So when are you going to tell Princess Party Girl about the house? He asked. Why would I? She's not going to be living in it. Dad grinned. That's my boy. The hiking group was where everything started clicking into place. Every Saturday at 7 a.m., we'd meet at different trailheads around the city. Way better than sleeping off hangovers until 2 p.m. like I used to do when Brooke was out partying. That's where I met Sophie. She's a personal trainer, 23, has this really dry sense of humor that caught me off guard. First conversation we had was about trail mix. Whoever decided raisins belong in trail mix clearly hates joy, she said, picking them out of her bag. Finally, someone with sense. Raisins are just disappointed grapes. Oh man, that's dark. I like it. We started hiking together more often, just as friends at first since I was technically still with Brooke, even though she'd made it clear I was just holding her place in line. Sophie helped me pick out tile for the house renovation. Turns out she has really good taste and knows way more about home improvement than someone who spends all day at a gym should. Why do you know so much about grout? I asked while we were at Home Depot. My dad's a contractor. Spent summers working for him instead of going to camp. Learned more about plumbing than most guys I train. She was right. The first day Sophie came to help with the house, Dad was there installing new kitchen cabinets. I was nervous about them meeting, but I shouldn't have been. You must be Sophie, Dad said, not looking up from his level. Ryan's told me about you. All good things, I hope. He said you have opinions about tile. That's either very good or very bad. Sophie laughed. Depends on the tile. But yeah, I have opinions about most things. I like her already, Dad said to me, then turned back to Sophie. Can you hand me that drill? And tell me, what's your position on the subway tile? Timeless but overused. Good for resale value. Boring for actual living. Yep, I like her. Sophie's construction knowledge was legit. She showed up the next weekend with her own tool belt and immediately spotted a problem with the kitchen layout that would have cost me thousands to fix later. You can't put the dishwasher there unless you reroute that gas line. See how it runs right behind where you want the cabinet. Dad was impressed. I was starting to fall for her. Meanwhile, Brooke's party phase was escalating. Her Instagram posts were getting more wild. Photos with random guys at festivals. Always captioned stuff like, making memories with new friends, or life's too short to say no to adventures. Rebecca would comment things like, yes, queen. This is what your 20s should look like. Dad saw one of her posts when I was scrolling through my phone during a lunch break. God, she looks like she's about to OD on attention. What's her endgame here? I don't think she has one. Rebecca's got her convinced this is what happiness looks like. The moment that really sealed it for me happened at the community center. I was teaching this 12-year-old kid named Diego basic Python, and his mom came to pick him up. You're really good with kids, she said. Do you have any of your own? Not yet. Someday, though. Your girlfriend's lucky. Guys who are good with kids are rare. I almost laughed. My girlfriend was currently somewhere in the Nevada desert with Rebecca, probably rolling on Molly, explicitly not wanting kids or anything domestic like commitment. That night I texted Brooke. We need to talk when you get back. Ooh, sounds serious. You're not about to propose, are you? Because that would be super awkward. With like 5 laughing emojis. Yeah, definitely not. Brooke got back from Burning Man 3 days later, looking like she'd been through a sandstorm. Sunburned, exhausted, smelling like patchouli and regret. She came over to my apartment. Still hadn't mentioned the house. Rebecca had apparently stayed in Vegas for some after-party that was too epic to miss. So what's this big serious talk? Please tell me you're not about to get all weird and clingy. I had such an amazing time and I don't want to kill the... Actually, I wanted to thank you. She looked confused. Thank me for what? For being honest about what you think of me. It really clarified things. Now she looked uncomfortable. I didn't mean it in a bad way. I know exactly how you meant it. You want to have fun now, settle down later. I respect that, but I've realized I don't want to be anyone's phase. So let's end this clean. Wait, what? You're breaking up with me? We're breaking up with each other. You want to be free? I want to be valued. Win-win. She was genuinely shocked. This wasn't how the script was supposed to go. I was supposed to wait around like a golden retriever, just happy when she came home. But we're good together. We work. I mean, you're perfect for me eventually. Eventually. Keyword there. You're totally overreacting. I just need some time to figure things out. God, you're being so dramatic about this. Take all the time you need, just not on my clock. This is ridiculous. You know what? Fine. But don't come crawling back when you realize you threw away something good. Most girls wouldn't even be honest about this stuff. She left angry and confused. Within an hour, she was posting Instagram stories with quotes about knowing your worth and men who can't handle strong, independent women who know what they want. Fine by me. I had crown molding to install. I called Dad afterward to let him know it was officially over. How'd she take it? About as well as you'd expect. Lots of dramatic quotes about men who can't handle honesty. Good. Are you coming over tomorrow? That crown molding isn't going to install itself. After the breakup, Brooke went into full party overdrive. Her Instagram became this non-stop highlight reel of clubs, festivals, and adventures. Every post was about her newfound freedom and living authentically. Meanwhile, I was working on my new house. The hiking group became my weekly therapy session. Sophie and I were hanging out more, just as friends, but good friends. She helped me pick out a new refrigerator when my ancient one finally died. We spent an entire Saturday at appliance stores arguing about whether stainless steel or black stainless was better. Black stainless shows fingerprints less, she said, but regular stainless steel matches the dishwasher I already bought. Fair point. Also, you actually bought a dishwasher before you had a working kitchen. That's very optimistic of you. Dad was there too, of course. He's been optimistic about dumb stuff his whole life. At least this time it's useful. Sophie started spending more time at the house, helping with projects and just hanging out. Dad treated her like she'd been part of the family for years, which was his way of showing approval without actually saying it. Sophie, can you hold this level while I mark these spots? Dad asked during a kitchen renovation session. Sure thing, Jim. Good. Ryan, your girlfriend has steadier hands than you do. She's not my girlfriend yet, I said. Yet. I heard that. Sophie, you hear that? He said yet. I heard it, Sophie said, grinning. Excellent. Now both of you shut up and help me install this cabinet. But apparently Rebecca was keeping tabs on my social media and reporting back to Brooke. I'd post normal stuff, pictures from hiking, the kids at the coding camp, my attempt at making homemade pasta. Epic failure, but hilarious. This bothered Brooke because it meant I was doing fine without her. Rebecca started commenting on my posts with passive-aggressive shit like, wow, someone's really embracing the single life. Good for you. And hope you're not just posting the highlights while you're actually miserable inside. I blocked her after the third comment. Then Brooke started showing up places. The coffee shop I went to Sunday mornings. The gym. She even showed up at the community center claiming she wanted to volunteer. Ryan, wow, funny running into you here. Hey Brooke, here to volunteer with the kids? Yeah, totally. I love kids. Want to give back, you know? Show them there's more to life than just working all the time. The coordinator started asking about her availability. Suddenly she remembered she had a trip to Mexico planned with Rebecca, then a festival in Colorado, then a girls' weekend in Vegas. She never came back. But the real explosion happened when she found out about the house. Not from me, from our mutual friend Chris who'd helped me move my couch. My phone blew up. You bought a house? When were you going to tell me? I can't believe you made that decision without me. We talked about buying a house together. That last one made me actually laugh out loud. We had never, not once, talked about buying anything together. She'd specifically said she wasn't ready to settle down. I finally responded, I bought a house for my future. You made it clear you weren't part of that future. Why would I consult you? Because we were together for 2.5 years. That's a huge decision. Were. Past tense. Your choice, remember? You're being such a petty asshole about this. It's not like I said I never wanted to be with you. You said I was a phase, a placeholder. Those were your exact words. She tried calling like 15 times. I was busy helping Sophie plant tomatoes in my new backyard. Turns out she knows everything about gardening too. That night she went nuclear on social media. Posted this long rant about men who make major life decisions in secret and can't communicate properly. Rebecca, from a new fake account, was all over the comments section backing her up, calling me manipulative, and clearly threatened by Brooke's independence. Her whole squad rallied around her saying I was shady and deceptive. The irony wasn't lost on me. The woman who told me I was just a phase was mad that I planned a future without her. Things stayed quiet for about a month. I was living in the house, still doing renovations, but it was totally livable. The vegetable garden was actually producing food. Life was genuinely good. Sophie and I had started dating officially. We took it slow, but it was different from day one. She talked about future plans like I was obviously going to be there. Made dinner reservations 2 weeks out without hedging. It was weird how refreshing that was. Dad loved watching us together. This is what normal looks like, he told me one day while we were installing new baseboards. No drama, no games, just two people who actually like each other. It's nice, I said. Nice. That's the best you can do? It's not nice. It's healthy. There's a difference. Then Brooke's 25th birthday hit, and apparently it triggered some kind of existential crisis. Her Instagram shifted from party pics to inspirational quotes about new chapters and growth. The post got more philosophical, less about shots and more about authentic living. She texted me, "Hey, I've been doing a lot of thinking. Can we talk?" I was curious enough to say yes. We met at this neutral coffee shop downtown, the kind of place with exposed brick and overpriced lattes. She looked different, less party girl, more tired, like she'd been running on fumes for months and finally ran out of gas. Thanks for meeting me. I know things ended weird between us. What's up, Brooke? I've been thinking about what I really want. Like, really thinking. And I realized I was being immature before. I'm ready now. For what? To settle down. To be serious. I got all the party stuff out of my system. I'm ready for the next chapter. With you. She said it like she was doing me a favor. Like I should be grateful she'd finally decided I was worth her time. So, because you're ready now, I should just be available? We were good together, Ryan. You know we were. I just needed time to grow up and experience things. Now I have, and I know what I want. And what made you think I was just sitting around waiting? Because you loved me. I know you did. That doesn't just disappear. Plus, let's be real. You're a plumber. It's not like you have tons of options. Even now, she was talking down to me. You're right. I did love you. Past tense. You told me I was just a phase, so I acted accordingly. I didn't mean it like that. You meant it exactly like that. You wanted to party and have fun without me, then settle for me when you were done. Like I was a retirement plan. She started crying. Not sad tears. Frustrated tears. So what, you're punishing me? Is that what the house was about? To hurt me? The house is about building my future. A future you explicitly said you didn't want to be part of yet. I took you at your word. I saw you with that girl on Instagram. The trainer. Is this about her? Sophie. Her name is Sophie. And no, this isn't about her. It's about me choosing to be with someone who doesn't see me as something to settle for later. That hit home. She physically flinched. I never said settle for you. Settling down with me was what you'd do when you were done having fun. Your exact words. That makes me the safe, boring choice for after the party ends. So that's it? 3 years together, and you just move on like I meant nothing? 2.5 years. And you moved on first. You just expected me to stay in place while you did. She tried one last desperate play. What if I was pregnant? I almost walked out right there. Are you? Number. But what if I was? Okay, even if you were. What makes you think I'll believe it's mine? You're such an asshole. I hope you know that. I was honest with you. And this is how you repay me? She left angry, blocked me on everything, posted more quotes about men who can't handle personal growth, and sometimes people show their true colors when you're vulnerable. That evening, I was at the house with Dad and Sophie, installing new light fixtures in the dining room. I told them about the coffee shop meeting. She actually said you don't have options because you're a plumber? Sophie asked. Word for word. Dad put down his screwdriver. That girl has no idea what she just walked away from twice. What do you mean twice? Once when she decided you were a phase. Again today when she assumed you'd be grateful for her scraps. He picked up his screwdriver again. Her loss? Sophie, can you flip that breaker back on? Sure thing, Jim. Good. Now let's see if Ryan wired this right or if we need to call a real electrician. Brooke's rejection apparently sent her into a complete spiral. According to mutual friends, she became obsessed with proving I was making a mistake. Rebecca was feeding into this hard, constantly telling her that I was obviously rebounding, and that Sophie was just a gym bunny who doesn't know the real you like Brooke does. The harassment started small. Brooke would drive by the house when I was working in the yard. She'd sit in her car across the street for like 20 minutes, just watching. I ignored it at first, figured she'd get bored and move on. Dad noticed first. Blue Honda keeps driving by. Same one's been parked across the street 3 times this week. That's Brooke. Stalking now? Classy. He didn't look up from the deck railing he was sanding. Want me to go have a chat with her? Nah, she'll get bored eventually. If you say so, but if she escalates, I'm not asking permission next time. Then Rebecca started following me around town. She'd show up at the grocery store I went to, the coffee shop, always with her phone out pretending to be casual while obviously taking pictures. She'd report back to Brooke about everything, who I was with, what I was buying, even what I was wearing. Rebecca got bold enough to accidentally bump into Sophie at the gym during peak hours. She made a huge scene apologizing, loud enough for everyone to hear, then started this fake conversation. Oh my God, you're Ryan's new girl. He's such a catch. I can't believe Brooke let him go. She's been such a mess since the breakup. Like, seriously struggling. Maybe you could talk to him about giving her another chance? Sophie handled it like a pro. I think Brooke's struggles are between her and her therapist, not me and my boyfriend. Rebecca's face went red. Things escalated when Brooke and Rebecca figured out Sophie's schedule. They started showing up at the gym where she worked, coincidentally needing day passes to work out. They'd make loud comments about how some people just go for the first rebound they find, and how it's sad when men can't handle being alone. Sophie handled it better than I did. They're just jealous. Brooke had something good and threw it away. Now she's seeing what she lost. But it got worse. Rebecca started messaging Sophie on Instagram with fake concern. Hey girl, just wanted to give you a heads up about Ryan. He's super controlling and manipulative. Ask him about how he made Brooke feel like she couldn't have friends or go out. He's just putting on an act for you. Sophie showed me the messages. She's really trying hard to break us up. What did you tell her? That she should find a hobby that doesn't involve other people's relationships. Dad's response was more direct. Block her. Block them both. And if they show up at your work again, call the police. Brooke and Rebecca doubled down. They started spreading rumors to mutual friends about how I was love-bombing Sophie and how they were worried about her because I was showing all the red flags of an abuser. The same tactics abusers actually use. isolating their target by making everyone else seem untrustworthy. The flowers started appearing on my porch 2 weeks later. No cards, just flowers. Every few days, new ones would show up. I threw them away, but they kept coming. Secret admirer? Dad asked, seeing me carry another arrangement to the trash. Brooke, she's losing her mind. No, she's trying to make you lose yours. Don't let her. Then Sophie started getting packages at work. Designer workout clothes, expensive supplements, gift cards to fancy restaurants, all anonymous, but we both knew who was sending them. It was like Brooke was trying to buy Sophie's loyalty or prove she had money to throw around. The final straw was when Rebecca called Sophie's boss, claiming I was harassing Sophie and that she was concerned for her safety. Sophie's boss had to sit her down and ask if everything was okay at home. It was humiliating for her and potentially damaging to her career. That night, I called a lawyer, explained the situation, the stalking, the harassment of Sophie, the attempts to damage her reputation. He said I had enough for a restraining order against both of them. Document everything, he said. Save all the messages. Take pictures of the flowers. Get statements from witnesses. This is textbook stalking and harassment. Filed the paperwork Monday morning. Brooke and Rebecca were served Tuesday afternoon. The restraining order required them to stay 500 feet away from me, my house, my workplace, and Sophie. Dad was installing a new kitchen backsplash when I got home with the paperwork. How'd it go? Restraining orders in effect. They've been served. Good. Should have done it weeks ago. Think it'll actually stop them? If they have any sense, yeah. If not, well, they'll learn the hard way that judges don't care about your feelings. For about a week, it was quiet. I thought maybe the legal reality check had finally gotten through to them. I was wrong. Last Friday night, I was at home working on refinishing the back deck when I heard someone on my front porch. It was almost 11 p.m., so I figured it was a delivery that got dropped off late. Opened the door to find Brooke sitting on my porch steps, clearly drunk, surrounded by about 24 roses. She was crying, makeup running down her face, holding a drink. Ryan, please, I just want to talk. I love you. I've always loved you. Rebecca was wrong. I should have never listened to her. I want to come home. Brooke, you can't be here. You have a restraining order. I don't care about that stupid paper. This is my home too. We can work this out. She tried to stand up and stumbled. The bottle fell and shattered on my concrete steps. You need to leave. Now I'm calling the police. No, please, just listen to me. Sophie doesn't know you like I do. She's just using you for your house and your money. I'm the one who really loves you. I already had my phone out, dialing 911. Brooke heard me and started panicking. Ryan, no, please don't do this. I'll leave, okay? I'll go right now. But she was too drunk to even walk properly. She fell trying to get off the porch, scraped her knee, and started crying harder. The cops showed up about 10 minutes later. 2 officers, both professional, but clearly not surprised by the situation. Sir, can you explain what's happening here? I showed them the restraining order, explained the situation. Brooke was still on my lawn, now lying in the grass, crying about how she'd made a mistake and just wanted to fix things. Ma'am, you're under arrest for violating a restraining order. You have the right to remain silent. They cuffed her and put her in the back of the patrol car. One officer stayed to take my statement, while the other called for someone to come clean up the broken glass. Has she contacted you since the restraining order was issued? The officer asked. No direct contact, but she's been driving by the house. I have security camera footage. We'll need copies of that. This probably won't be her only violation. The officer's partner came back with a tow truck driver. Turns out Brooke had parked her car illegally on my street before stumbling up to my porch. They were impounding it, along with arresting her. The tow truck guy was pulling her Honda onto his flatbed, while she watched from the back seat, still crying. That's going to cost her at least $300 to get out of impound, the cop said. Plus bail, plus court costs, expensive night. I watched them drive away with Brooke in the back seat, still crying, probably facing a night in jail and additional charges. Dad showed up about 20 minutes later. I'd called him after the cops left. You okay? He asked, looking at the rose petals scattered across my porch. Yeah, I'm fine. Just glad it's finally over. Is it, though? Over, I mean. Has to be. She's looking at real jail time now. Sophie arrived a few minutes later. Dad and I were sweeping up glass while she picked up rose petals. You know what's weird? Sophie said. I almost feel sorry for her. She had something real with you, and she threw it away because her friend convinced her she could do better. Rebecca didn't convince her of anything, Dad said. She just gave Brooke permission to act on what she already wanted. Rebecca was just the excuse. I looked around my house. The kitchen I'd renovated, the garden we'd planted, the life I'd built. Sophie was right. Brooke had traded something real for something that looked good on social media. Her loss? I said. I'm exactly where I want to be. Dad finished sweeping up the last of the glass. Should have listened to me from the beginning. I told you that girl was trouble. Yeah, you did. Course I did. It's my job to spot the crazy ones before they waste your time. Although, to be fair, this one wasted way more of her time than yours. Brooke was right about one thing. She wasn't done having fun yet. Turns out neither was I. I just found a better definition of it. One that didn't involve waiting around for someone to decide I was worth settling for. The best part? It wasn't even revenge. It was just building the life I wanted with people who wanted to be in it right now, not after they finished their phase. Brooke wanted me to be a phase in her life, something she'd come back to when the party ended. Instead, she became exactly what she designated me as. Just a phase. One I'd grown out of. She's probably getting booked right now, facing charges for violating a restraining order. Me? I'm in my house with my garden, with someone who doesn't see me as a placeholder for when she's ready to get serious. Dad's here making sure I don't do anything stupid, and Sophie's here because she wants to be. All right, Dad said, putting the broom away. Crisis over. Sophie, you staying for dinner? I'm making my famous chili. Is it actually famous? Sophie asked. Depends on your definition of famous. Ryan's been eating it for 20 years and he's not dead yet. That's not exactly a ringing endorsement, I said. You want a ringing endorsement? It's better than anything you cook. He's not wrong, Sophie said. See? She gets it. I like this one, Ryan. Don't screw it up. I won't. Good. Now, let's go inside before the neighbors start talking about the crazy woman who got arrested in your front yard. Funny how that worked out.